now let's move to the other giants in the Premier League. Manchester United, Didi. They lost at Huddersfield last week. I watched the whole game. It was on Sky Ireland. They were very, very poor. Very poor. And they weren't... they haven't been that convincing over the last few weeks. Basically, even at Liverpool, they were very, very negative. They got their 0-0 draw. You tipped Manchester City to win at the start of the Premier League season, I believe. Nothing we're seeing. I thought it might be that Manchester United might give them a run for their money because they'd be better organised defensively, but it doesn't look like that right now.
It doesn't really look like it right now because there's a 5-point gap. I still think that United may be the most the closest to see of Manchester City. Yes, they had a bad few weeks, even though results were still okay, apart from Huddersfield. They were poor at Liverpool. They were very poor at Benfica. Did the game for RT where they couldn't get 2-3 passes together. But it's obvious that defensively they're okay. They only conceded 4 goals in the league. But I think going forward is a problem, and I'm not sure whether sometimes Mourinho's negativity gives players an excuse to be not good in possession or to play poorly with the ball. I think that could be a problem because after Liverpool he praised his team. After Huddersfield he wasn't happy, but I think he was coming because the two performances against Liverpool and Benfica were very poor. They struggled with the ball. As I said, they couldn't get 2-3 passes together. And maybe sometimes he puts a seed in the player's head to say, well, as long as we defend well and keep a clean sheet, the manager will be happy.
Yeah.
I think Pogba has been a big miss or is a miss. And I'm sure they will, and they have to play better in the next few weeks.
There are a few players, Didi, that I would question. I'd dispute how much they miss Pogba, maybe a little bit, but it's hard to say. Mkhitaryan, Martial, they're two of the players that were bought for big money. Neither of them look close. Mkhitaryan in particular has been disappointing. He's obviously technically he's good. He's got a bit of pace, but he doesn't appear to have the heart.
I think he's a player that needs love, that needs affection, and that needs the right environment. I think he showed in glimpses last season what he's capable of. He's an excellent player. In Germany, he had in his last season under Thomas Tuchel, he was the stand-up performer of the German Bundesliga. I think Martial again, for me, he's potentially a top-class player. Who at the moment doesn't really get the times. He always has to share responsibilities with Rashford. He never really gets an extended run in the team. But I think potentially these guys are match winners. We just talked about the guys in Liverpool or in Tottenham, or if you look at Sané, if you look at Jesus, if you look at De Bruyne, I think these guys are not far behind these players. But for some reason, Mourinho doesn't really get the best out of him, and he called his team out again after that Huddersfield defeat. And he's got to make sure now he gets the best out of his players, because last year, even though they were dire, they still won 2 trophies. So maybe that's his plan to bring the people on board. I don't know, but you can't question his record over the last 15, 20 years. But clearly, these guys are the problem. They're not really playing as good a football as they are capable of.
I think I know what his plan is, Didi, and I think it's the fact that he said last week that he thought Paris was a beautiful city. His son was living there, and he was full of praise for Paris. So I think his plan is to go to PSG, where there's a bit of a problem with Neymar and the coach and stuff. So I think the special one might be heading to Paris.
They started the season really well. They dismantled Bayern Munich a few weeks ago, so things are not going too badly in Paris. I still think the reason he came to Manchester United is to win the league there and possibly the Champions League. I know it's a big ask, and he probably got a better chance at the moment with Paris to win it. But he's a winner, and I can't see him leaving Old Trafford before he at least won the league. So I don't think that'll.
He'll be there for a long time, Didi.
Happen in next show.
Now,
yeah, well.
he better bed in. He's still living in a hotel, but we'll see what happens. I watched.
That's right.
You may not have seen it. I watched PSG away to Marseille last Sunday. It was a game in which Neymar was sent off in the end. When they were 2-1 down, Cavani scored a fantastic goal from a free kick in the dying minutes of the game. But PSG were very undisciplined. Neymar was strolling, and they looked as if playing in an easy league. They'd lost all their zip and their discipline and their shape. So I think there is a problem in Paris that may well be exposed by a heavy Champions League defeat somewhere along the line.